What is up, everybody? We are live for episode 100 of the WrestleSense podcast. Everyone has their own WrestleSense. We started a while back on my channel, Blaze Radio, where I got to interview three guys who used to do something called the Real Deal podcast with some other guys as well in between. So my three friends within the industry, I figured let's try to bring this back. Let's have some fun with it here on YouTube and just talk wrestling. Let's react to what happened. Let's talk about what's going to happen and what things we like, things we don't like, etc., etc. And we got a bunch of people already in here. Monstar, of course. I appreciate all the likes and shares. Wally's in the building. Yes, 100 episodes, my man. Solo season. What is happening? Great to see you. Crushing Kelly's in the building. We got Jesse Jackhammer, William Kenna. Lady Sky is in the house. Jamar. I love it. And Aaron Wheel says 100 episodes of These Nuts. Of course. So we are going to get right into it. We have a good bit of stuff, but really some fun, some reminiscing about what's happened in the past, some of the things that we've covered, and some of the things that's going down in wrestling right now. So the present, the past, and the future of pro wrestling. We're going to talk about our 100th episode. I mean, if you count some of the little side things we've done in between, we're over 100, but this is our 100th full episode with everybody here. And okay, I'm just getting messages here. We are ready. We'd like to do it. We do it live so we can just chat about wrestling, get some reactions, and we're going to get right into the episodes. We're going to cover all of our different sections that we've done before: the local focus, the six senses, our 2 cents, make some sense, and a little bit of game show at the end. So we're going to have fun with it like always. But we're going to get right to it. But we're going to bring Doc on first. What is happening, my man?
What's going on, man? Looking forward to the holidays. This is a good one. You said no. I wish you would have told me no stupid hats, but you know, hey, that's what I got it.
No stupid hats, just stupid people. So we're good to go.
You know, I can when I start to yell, I can just.
So, well, we talked. Happy Hanukkah was, I think, last week. So I got to say all my Jewish friends, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Festivus, all that stuff. So Merry Christmas to everybody out there as well.
Air your grievances.
We're going to jump into first, just me and you, Doc, for a minute, because I want to talk about local focus. So we'll get it. So this is a little reminiscent of episode 1 when we started about 2 years ago. I interviewed each of these 3 guys, sat back and just talked to each of you guys. But I mean, we have a little one who's following in the wrestling footsteps. And I wanted to talk about this picture that showed up recently.
Man, yes.
And it has to be a great moment to get your hand raised in a wrestling match. So, Doc, as the father, your kid getting his hand raised for a win, how you feeling?
Oh, it was amazing. He took a year off and then he came back. And what happened was there was a Saturday tournament and Sunday's a Keystone. Well, let me explain to the audience. A Keystone is where you wrestle, and it's kind of like a qualifier.
Gotcha.
So you could get the states, right? So Saturday was this like off tournament that you could go or go not. Love you too, baby. And what's crazy about it is he was like, I want to do it. I want to do it. Now, one thing about wrestling, it starts at the ass crack of dawn. And I was like, oh, God. And my wife had to work that day. So I had to take him, right? And I was a little nervous, And he had to wrestle 4 times the same kid. And what happened was he weighed in at 94 pounds. They shifted him to 105.
Oh.
And I was like, what the fuck? I was mad about it because I was like, this kid did. If you look at that kid, he's a little bigger than him.
Yeah.
However, first match, he lost by points. And then I looked at him. I was like, "You good?" And he started holding his ribs. He had a little tear in his eyes. I was like, "Listen, I want you to really concentrate and do what Curtis Ray Gotti told you to do." And believe it or not, Tony Kincaid. Tony Kincaid used to actually do this, and he wrestled a little bit. So they're both showing him stuff at the last event. And I was like, "Did you use that?" He goes, I did. But I was like, "You gotta keep taking him down." I was like, "Imagine if he broke our PlayStation 5." And then I saw this red crimson in his eyes as he walked out there for the second match. He pinned the kid.
Nice.
So then the third time he fights this kid, he beats him by points. And he was doing takedowns. He was doing everything that his coaches outside the school that, he sees here in the business taught him what to do. The Curtis Ray Gotti's a collegiate athlete. I mean, he literally was showing Bodie what to do. And I was messaging him throughout the thing. So special thanks to him, man, because he got Bodie through it. So when Bodie won, he had to fight this kid wrestled this kid 3 times, beat him 2 out of 3 times, and ended up with a gold medal.
Nice.
So I've never been prouder.
That's
and
awesome.
Then we went back Sunday, and it hits you because Sunday, who was his first opponent? That damn kid again. And I say, Bodie, did you say anything? He goes, no. The kid looked at me and goes, aren't you sick of this already? And Bodie goes, yeah, I am. And then I was like, okay. Then Bodie pinned him.
Nice.
We had to wait 2 to 3 hours. Bodie got an extra match. Wrestled this kid. These assholes were standing on the outside of the mat, like on the other side, screaming at my son. And of course, Katie holds me back, says, "Just don't get mad at him." Bodie legit pins the kid in front of his dad, looks up at him as the referee's going. It was the greatest thing I ever saw.
That's awesome.
And so Bodie went 2-0 on Sunday too. So out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 5 matches, he went 4-1. I'm very proud of him, and
awesome.
Hopefully we keep the ball rolling from here.
Living vicariously through you. I don't have a kid. A lot of people out there that either have kids that are in sports or not. I mean, I knew it would be a great feeling to finally. And we've talked about last matches on the last show. We talked about retirement matches and first matches. We had our friend Riley on. He did have his first match. He's actually training right now. So I wanted to get his response on it. He's not here, but we'll try to revisit that soon and talk about Franco Costanzo and his first singles match up there in New York. But first matches, last matches. We talked about this guy and his maybe last match. And how you feeling? You still sore?
I feel like shit. I feel like shit, man.
You still feeling bad from that?
Not from the match. I mean, I'm sick in general. I don't feel like great.
Thank you, Jay. Yeah, 100 episodes, man. I mean, when we talked about bringing this back on the YouTube platform, I didn't know if it was going to last, if it was going to work out, if we were going to have fun with it. But 100 episodes later, and like I've told you guys a million times, I just love talking wrestling with you guys. And that's what we're here to do. We're not telling anybody how they should act or, right from wrong or up from down. We're just talking about wrestling. And let's bring the big guy in as well. What's happening, Ray?
Oi, you crispity crispus cunts.
Oh man.
Santa DH is out there still hunting for presents.
Yeah, we're actually on our way back now. I made Mrs. Bruiser drive so I could jump on with you guys.
There you go.
Buff fucking humbug. I hate the holidays. I'm going to
Only
become a
people.
Jehovah's Witness because I'd rather knock on your fucking door
CJ
than
says
do
me
this
too.
shit.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I'm sorry I missed last week, boys. Life
It's
is
all good.
fucking hectic, man.
It's all good. It's all good.
I'm having some medical issues as well. Mine is not the herpes or HIV that's acting up for CJ. My gallbladder's exploding.
Normally me to get that joke.
What?
My gallbladder's exploding, and I'm not having good days quite often right now. But unfortunately, I can't get it fixed until the middle of January.
No, don't get me in trouble, Monstar. We're not going there, Monstar. Don't get me in trouble. So I have. We're going to start out. We're going to reminisce of some of the old shows and some of the teams we talked about. But the first thing I want to do is I'm going to do a quick little recap of a bunch of news stories, and then we're going to talk about the last one here. So I'm going to bust out my six senses. Ooh, that sounded dirty. All right. Now, this is a lot of what I like to call outside news. So not really in-ring news. So I'm just going to blare through here, and then we'll get to the good stuff and chit-chat about it. So let's get – I gotta mute that. That's a little – okay, here we go. AJ Styles is back, and he's jacked. All right, he's back. Charlotte, MCL, ACL, meniscus, out about 9 months or more. Diverticulitis, get better, Kenny Omega. Man, that's terrible. Ilya Dragunov looked crazy, but as CJ likes to say,
it's a work, bro.
It was a work. We reported it, talked about it last week, but he did a good job of selling it. Dexter Lumis is not injured. He is okay. He's awaiting creative.
What?
Okay? That's all they're doing with him. Odyssey Jones has moved up to the main roster, but they never used him. The pitch has been thrown to him to join Lashley's group, but no acceptance or anything yet.
Oh, God, please no.
You don't think that'd be a good start for
Liv,
him?
I'm sorry I left my stash in your car.
Wow.
I'm sorry. It's my bad. I'll see you later in bed, hun. Love you.
That was great.
Mike Rotundo in an interview let everyone know that Bray Wyatt's on a Legends contract now. So Bray Wyatt, all the proceeds will go to Bray's family, posthumous, which is great. So all his merchandise sales and everything, according to Mike, his father, which he did break up a little bit, of course, talking about your son passing away. Legends deal for Bray Wyatt. Big, great thing. And WWE Speed has been testing out 5-minute matches. From what I understand, there's group stages stuff kind of thing too, like that. Maybe their own type of G1 thing. I don't know. But it's a good way to get some shine to some of the mid-card or some other guys that aren't getting shine. Do we need another title on ROH? Well, we got one. A women's television championship is being announced for ROH. Like we need more titles. And this is what I wanted to talk about. Today is the day. All these individuals are free of contract, including Matt Riddle, who is signed with MLW. Nice. So Riddle's going to be an MLW. CJ, do you have any thoughts on any of these guys? I know a lot of people are talking about Ali and Ziggler and AEW, but any thoughts on anybody else landing anywhere possibly?
Shelton, Ziggler, AEW.
Elias?
Yeah.
I'd like to see Elias land somewhere.
I'd like to see him go back to WWE. I think he'd get a huge pop because everybody loved Elias.
Yeah, I think Shelton and Dolph, most importantly, need to be on Dynamite next week, hopefully.
Aaliyah can come and hang out with me for all I care, and she don't have to go back to wrestling.
We really need to get you a woman.
Yes, please. Thank you. Mason Mansoor, they've been all over the indies. I've been seeing pictures of them going to doing indie shows.
Oh, they're going to do phenomenal.
Yes, I think they're going to do good. What about you, Ray? Any thoughts?
What I'm really wondering, I'm sure you guys have seen it, but Impact, TNA, whatever you want to call them,
the big
they're
announcement.
teasing the biggest free agent signing. You know, they had money earmarked that they were trying to negotiate with Punk with. And a lot of speculation that it's Okada. I don't think they can afford Okada. I mean, I know that they were trying to get Punk money, but my money's on that being Dolph Ziggler, that being Nick Nemeth. I kind of think.
Yeah, my sentiments also.
Yeah, we lost Rick. He's out on the road, so that's where we'll come back to that if he gets back on. So we'll talk about these individuals as they come alive here and as they show up wherever they show up. Let's reminisce. Let's go back and get our 2 cents of some of our old themes that we did here on the show over the years. And I do have a playlist now on the WrestleSense page where you can go back and watch the first episode all the way through, like I think it was 32 or 33 before we moved over to this channel. So let's take a look back at some of the thumbnails, some of the shows that we did in our 2 cents. Yep, I did mention Riddle signing with MLW. Now, I don't know if it's an exclusive contract or if he's only going to fight there. I mean, he's already advertised for a match, but who knows? This isn't really news to me. I mean, we'll worry about that when it happens.
It's not till like after WrestleMania. So.
I mean, there's, you know how fuckers are on the internet. There's already, they're leaving because Seth's losing the title, so they're going to AEW.
They're not going anywhere.
Yeah, they're not
going anywhere.
I don't think it's Okada either. I mean, if they throw enough money at Sasha, maybe they got her for a couple months.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
But
happening.
The report I saw is, well, he keeps saying it's a big name, so I'm trying to think someone who's actually going to make a quote unquote, no pun, impact.
Do you think Ziggler could be that big name? I mean,
I don't know.
No. Okay.
I think he's going to definitely be with AEW, and whenever this all this devil stuff unfolds and everything, maybe not in the devil thing or whatever, but
right,
we'll see. I think he falls in with his brother and all that shit. So let's go all the way back. I talked about it. Our first episode, we did interviews. I brought you on the Get Blaze talk show and just talked to you guys about your involvement in the indies, in pro wrestling, being a fan, et cetera, et cetera. And that's how we all kicked it off. And that was a long time ago. We got into episodes where we talked about the best this and the best that. We talked about legendary stables. So we had a list and we debated them. We talked some on there, some out of there. Stables was one I like talking about. We did that one early. Greatest heel teams. We covered those. Greatest tag teams. We discussed like who your favorite tag teams were out there. And like the list that we do, I just found lists so we can talk about it. So it was debatable. For me, though, Road Warriors far and beyond.
You realize that graphic says the 3 horsemen and not the 4 horsemen, right?
What the fuck?
You know about the 3 horsemen? You remember them? The history, I was going to do steel cages, so I expanded it to steel structures because all those weird cages they've done in like TNA and Impact and, you know, the Hell in a Cell. So we talk about all kinds of steel structures and matches surrounded by steel. We talk about, it's a big part of pro wrestling, in my opinion. Celebrities come and go throughout the years. And we talked about Hall of Famers. We had a lot of guests on. The Rev Ron Hunt was a guest we had on. We had Clinton McCleary. We had Jason from That Wrestling Podcast. Riley Wolf was here last week. My friend Mitch Kofsky from the Hardcore Sports Network. Doc's cohort in crime, Tony Kincaid, came on a couple of times. Emily was amazing when she came on the few times. These people are always welcome back too, except for JJ Rumham. He can go fuck himself.
Yikes.
Tad Jarvis, loved having Tad on here and his stories and stuff, and General Kiesel. We had people in the industry, people in the community, and we love having guests on for 2024. I want to bring back. Yes, and the manager one brought up the fuck Fuji line.
Yeah, well, I mean, really, fuck Fuji.
Yeah, fuck Fuji.
Fuck you.
We talked about the times we went to the shows in Pittsburgh. The first one where we were right on the aisle for the first Dynamite in the Berg.
Sometimes.
Then the couple when we were up in this area here with the red light district, I guess. But it really looks like Bodie's giving a middle finger.
Now he's trying to get in there and
I know, but I love it because it looks like he's flipping everybody off. It fits. I love it. We talked about our own modern day horsemen. If we were going to start a horseman, what will we do? So that was a fun little discussion. And yes, the managers and fuck Fuji, definitely. We talked about fucking Fuji a bunch on that show.
Yeah, right where he shits.
We talked about nicknames and catchphrases. That's a big part of pro wrestling, in my opinion, too. People's their nicknames, their catchphrases, their theme songs that they come out to. Greatest commentators we talked about. I mean, and a lot of those three were ones that really kept coming up was the Heenans and the Rosses and Gorilla and some of the newer guys too. So we had a blast talking about commentators. Got some insight from Doc, who's been doing it forever. The 43rd episode, we did 6-man teams. And we also talked about PWS 500, which we do every year because with some of them local guys that are on that list, we love seeing that. We talked about finishing moves. So we had one episode where we talked about choke slams and power bombs and people that use those specific finishing moves, which there's a lot now, and clotheslines and spears as well. So we talked. That was our 50th episode. And we also reviewing big shows, pay-per-views, reviewing, previewing. We talked about all the people who dressed up like Santa Claus over the years. I think it might have been last year. It could have been the year before. But Mick Foley definitely sticks out to me when you think about Santa Claus. He just showed up somewhere in a Santa outfit in an indie show.
It was ICW, I think, over in England.
Yeah, I saw it and I was like, wait a minute. And they were chanting Foley because you couldn't see who he was. He had the whole gear on when he busted out a sock. But Santa Claus, always fun when they mix that shit up in. And then we got to our reviews, the current state of what WrestleSense is now. Weekly shows plus little special reports here and there. And like I said, if you want to check out any of the episodes, just click on, there's a playlist right on the main page now. And you can go back and watch all the old episodes and enjoy them. They're fun. The list were some of my favorites. We talked about top this or top that. Let's go over what's recent going on in pro wrestling and try to make some sense of it. All right, so let's start out with quickly going over the Ring of Honor pay-per-view, which I watched in a totally legal website, and CJ helped me out. Kelly, Crushing Kelly out there, helped me out as well. I found a nice place to watch it because I'm not paying for an ROH pay-per-view. I mean, I refuse. But I know we got to talk about the main event, Athena and Billy Starks.
It was the match of the night.
Yeah, I mean, in my
opinion,
I wanted it to be because it was the main event. And I mean, I'm not knocking Billy. She's fucking phenomenal.
Oh, she was fucking great, dude.
At times I thought she looked a little hesitant, but when she started going, man, she's amazing. Much better than people that have been wrestling for decades.
Yeah, she's really good.
And
she's really, really good.
Maybe she's the one to get that ROH TV title if Athena's locking down this title for a while. Or I wouldn't be mad if Starks gets another fight and takes the belt off of Athena because she really
Nor
did.
would I.
But the rest of the show was all right. I don't know much about that bounty hunter guy, Toby Keith or whatever his name is.
Brian Keith.
But he was the mystery guy in the survival of the fittest, and it was Kyle Fletcher that got the win. Take him to the fucking moon, man. We talked about him before. He's awesome.
I agree.
And Shane Taylor and Keith was a slapper. I loved watching those two big guys go at it. So it was a good show. I wanted more out of Ethan Page. I missed the Ethan Page Tony Nese match, so I can't really.
It was decent. I mean, the show as a whole, in my opinion, was far too fucking long for my liking. But I mean, that's what you expect.
Now, was Keith Lee victorious? If I remember, I saw the promo today. Shane Taylor had an amazing promo, so check it out if you can online.
Yeah, showing some love afterwards, and I mean, I'm waiting for the time where Shane Taylor gets a big win. I mean, this showcases him definitely, which I'm cool with, but I'm looking forward to times where he starts to get some big wins. The rest of the show, like you guys are saying, they kept piling on matches and ended up having 14 fucking matches. Mm-hmm. And it's not necessary. It's really not. But ROH, it's very worrisome what the hell's going to doing with ROH right now, in my opinion. I mean, figure it out, Tony. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
We discussed it last week too. We discussed this last week also. Now we're down to the final four: KO and Carmelo, Santos and Bobby Lashley. Remember what you guys said who you thought was going to win, but are you still sitting the same? Or Doc, what do you think? Who's coming out of this?
Oh man, this is hard. I want Kevin Owens, but I think Carmelo Hayes does make it to the finals. And as I'm looking at this, I feel it's going to be Bobby Lashley.
Okay. What about you, CJ?
I want to see Carmelo and Santos in the finals, and I'd be okay with either one.
Yeah,
to be honest.
I was just going to say, there's really no wrong answer. I think there's a story behind each one of these guys winning this tournament and going on to have a match with Logan Paul. Now, did they say whether that match is going to be like at Rumble or soon, or I think they just say
I don't think they did.
Yeah, that was another one I was going to say in the get well soon. CJ Perry had an infection in her finger that went all the way down her arm. And she had surgery. And
she had posted something earlier. I didn't get a chance to take a look at it. I guess everything went okay.
Her finger was completely like black. And then when I read, it went up her arm. So that can be scary. So good for her doing well and get better, all those people, man. I know it blows through a lot of that news.
You got to watch where she sticks that thing. Jeez.
Yes. Up Mira's Padupa, huh? We got a lot to talk about starting next week. We're going to be previewing WWE's throwing a lot of shit at the wall, and I love it. You know, the end of the year, we talked about what's up, Mitch. We talked about the fact that they don't have a pay-per-view in December. We saw in NXT, but now they're loading up and bringing back day one since Monday is one. I like that. I was a big fan of the Clash of the Champions back in the day, when all of a sudden WCW had a pay-per-view free on TV.
Yeah, they did. That was awesome.
So I'm really, I'm hoping these shows turn out to be something like that too. And of course, we'll be talking about World's End in AEW, and we can talk a little bit about that now. Last night's show, we continued the Continental Classic. Jay and Mark Briscoe, a lot of people are saying that was the best match of the night, and it wasn't even necessary for the tournament because both were eliminated.
I mean, I'd be inclined to agree with that, and I think the finish of Roderick Strong and Commander was the spot of the night. The way Commander took that finish was fucking sick, man.
And if you look at the top center, Moxley and White and Swerve, those three are now tied, and they'll have a triple threat next week. I'm kind of hoping the other bracket doesn't end in a triple threat too, because there is a possibility of that as well.
Did Rush win last night?
No.
Okay.
One, and then Jay White beat Moxley to make the tie. So all three have 12 points. They're going to fight each other. And I'm kind of hoping, as much as Swerve is hot, I talked about it last week, Swerve doesn't win. I think Moxley gets revenge.
I think he needs to, man.
Moxley gets revenge over Jay White, pinning him, and we're going to see Moxley and Kingston in the finals, I think. I'd love Bryan Danielson also. But Swerve, I think they're going to start, because they teased it with MJF last night. They had a face-to-face.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
I really liked it, and I think it just makes you think. Swerve was at the Jacksonville game, coming out to his theme music with all the cheerleaders. Swerve is getting a lot of outside the ring noticing right now. So I think they're going to strike when the iron's hot.
They need to.
MJF has a torn labrum, which he's hurt. He's going to have to find a way to get through this match with Samoa Joe. And to me, it seems like Joe's going to win the belt. MJF's too hurt. If he keeps it, maybe he'll keep it. But from what I understand,
they're going to lose the tag. They're going to lose the tag titles Wednesday.
Yes,
that's a given. I think Joe's going to walk out on him.
And could it be the Kingdom as the masked guys as a tag team? Could it be the Bucks? I'm hearing we haven't seen them in a while. If they're part of that, I mean, they have ties with Adam Cole and those guys too. The thing that was weird about last night is there was like 12 masked dudes. It's not. It wasn't 4 anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the original ones were just extras, just to be like a distraction from the 4 guys that really are.
It's kind of aces and eights ish. And if you watched the show last night, you could hear a fan when they were all coming out going, "It's Bully Ray!" It was so funny.
I heard, yeah,
it was so funny. But that's the beauty of this angle to me is we don't know. I mean, the devil got out of the car, but you didn't see anything. It's all in black. I think the Adam Cole thing is probably where they go with a bunch of people that don't like MJF. I really hope it's Britt at this point, because I think she could play a better devil, and she's connected to all of them. I mean, do you guys have I don't care who it is.
Adam Cole. I will say this. I think it's about time to reveal who the devil is.
It's getting out of hand.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like they're going to wait for the World's End.
I
think it's-
mean,
why not reveal one of them? I pretty much think Wardlow's got to be one.
he has to, and I would not be opposed to the devil actually being Swerve.
That would be awesome.
Me either. He's that hot right now, and
Yeah,
I wouldn't be mad at that at all. I was really hoping Saraya won, but Riho will fight Tony Storm at
to
World
me,
Fan.
it would have made more sense for it to be Saraya, but.
Yeah. But the thing is with Riho, and a lot of people have the same. A lot of people think she's not believable because of her size, but when you see her work, she's pretty fucking phenomenal for what she can do at that size. So
yeah,
I mean, people thought Rey Mysterio was too small back in the day too. But if you have stopped, let me just say this real quick. If you stopped watching AEW because of all the shit that went down a couple months ago and whatnot, you need to start watching again, in my opinion. These Continental Classic matches have been fucking great.
Top tier.
I can't pick one that was really that bad.
Swerve and Moxley was so awesome.
Yep.
I enjoyed that. And it was so good right to the end, man. And Moxley was able to pull that off right before the draw time because I really thought they were going to draw. I thought they were going to actually have a draw in the tournament, and they didn't.
Yeah, well, there's still the 3 matches on Saturday. One of those could be a draw, which could screw Bryan Danielson out of going to the finals if he gets a draw, because I think he needs to win and Kingston needs to win. I don't know. I don't have the scoreboard, but I love the intrigueness. Is that a word? Intriguing.
Just the intrigue.
The intrigue of this tournament and everything. So they can face Logan Paul whenever they want. So it's like a briefcase.
Okay.
Cool. I dig it. Yeah. So they've hyped up this show pretty good going into World's End. I mean, they got it. Like we said, they got to pay off the devil thing. I mean, it's gone too far. I really don't want it to be Jack Perry, but he could be part of the group.
It's not going to be Jack Perry.
I think Dolph Ziggler can have enough story coming in on his own as Nick Nemeth that he doesn't need to be in one of these outfits.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want it to be Ali because then all the retribution comparisons will come out. So I don't want
Adam Cole, Britt, or Swerve.
Those would be great, and those are all big names.
I would love to see it be Britt. I would just the simple fact is it's such a turn, such a twist.
I don't think Elias is as devilish. He would,
No.
Plus, if he did,
it doesn't make sense if it's Elias.
Those 3 would. Yeah. Tournament matches have been nice changes. Yeah, I mean, and that's Jason's been really critical of AEW, and a lot of people are, and rightfully so. Recently, I mean, I'm not going to say it's been great this year. They've had a lot of pitfalls that they had to come by, and whether you're talking about some of the stories or the live audiences or the Tony Khan tweets or whatever you want to talk about, losing Punk, and now it doesn't seem like they're going to get Sasha either. I mean, there's a lot of reason to knock it.
I don't think anybody's going to get Sasha for the amount of money she wants.
No, I think she's going to be in the Rumble. I think they end up saying bring her back. But what the shame is I was hoping, because Charlotte's injury, I wanted to see the 4 horsewomen in a 4-way at Mania.
That would be great.
Because that should have happened before, but hopefully if they can put that together, I'd be a fan of that. But the devil thing has me, man. I want to know who it is, and I want to see how it plays out. I know
it's got me too, but it's starting to get a little bit.
It's too. They haven't done anything to further. It's the same as it was a couple weeks ago. We don't know who it is, but Wardlow's promo was pretty, intense, and he said he's going to make the devil pay and all this stuff, and I don't know. Even if he's not in the group, he's already got an angle set up too to get revenge on MJF. So he doesn't really need to be in the group, but it kind of feels like he's one of them. All the people that need to pay back MJF should be in those costumes and just give him hell. And I'm all for it. I know I'm already chalking it up. There's going to be 50% of people out there they're going to bitch about it no matter who it is.
No, it's internet wrestling marks. They're going to bitch about it. Of course they are.
But there's one thing you can't complain about and argue, and that's numbers. And we're going to talk about some numbers here. Who had the most matches in WWE in 2023?
I already know.
some good stuff in the comments right here. Yeah, it is going to be a yearly thing. Now, the one thing that isn't positive yet is the Continental Belt going to get defended throughout the year or just once a year? Now, from what I heard and what
China's on point,
and what Fightful was talking about last night, that the ROH World Title, the New Japan Strong, will still be defended individually, but a Triple Crown winner will have all three.
It was dirty. Okay, never mind.
I would like to see the tag team, whoever wins it, but that would give away Adam Cole if it's the Kingdom, in my opinion. Maybe whoever wins the belts grabs the belts and just runs out with them. And then we have to wait until World's End to find out who it is.
I mean, I don't think you need to unmask. Yeah, I kind of agree with Jason a little bit. I don't think
makes sense.
I don't think you have the normal masked guys get unmasked until the Devil unmasked. You do it all at once.
Yeah, I think. I mean, and credit to Fightful when I watched the review last night. The idea that Samoa Joe just gives up on MJF.
That's
and walks out.
Take credit for it. But yeah, that would make the most sense.
Remember when Samoa Joe did the move and who was coming off the top rope and he just walked away?
Yeah, that's his gimmick.
So him just being nonchalant like that would be great. He's like, I'm just here to make sure you don't get hurt for our fight. Whether you lose or not, I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
Grinder Gang's in the house. Good to see you, man. So we're going to also not only who has the most matches, but we're going to balance it against the wins as well. Sean Spears would be a great one because he has beef with MJF. He was in the Pinnacle too, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The only one that doesn't make a lot of sense in Pinnacle will be FTR.
Yeah.
But the other ones all have beef with MJF. And I'm hyped about World's End. So let's look at the top 10 who had the most wins in 2023 in just WWE. Now, I had to look up Matt Cardona because he was the first person outside of the company. I was like, I wonder how many matches he had. Cardona had like 68 matches. This is all from cagematch.net, which that's where we found all CJ's old matches that are up on there too. It is the biggest wrestling database you can find to give you answers on just about anybody. So Balor's 81 matches, and I think these include like triple threats, tag matches, and stuff too. I can see some of these numbers. Finn Balor, 81 matches, 27 wins.
Not bad. Not bad.
He's got a tag title. Ludwig, and this goes along with him with Imperium taking all those losses for a while. 87 matches, only 15 wins, and he's paid his dues, so he's starting to get some more wins. Sammy. 89 matches, 60 wins.
That's a pretty good ratio.
Yeah, that's very busy.
One of my top three, actually, who I thought was the most matches was Sami Zayn because I always saw him, you know.
He's been in a lot of angles throughout the year too. LA Knight, 91 matches, 48 wins. Winning almost half your matches is pretty damn good.
Yeah.
In a solid year. Plus, I mean, the first thing I started thinking was, wait a minute.
That's more than half.
Yeah, 91 matches, and I'm like, 52 weeks in the year. Think about it, guys. These guys are fighting twice a week, if not more. And that's house shows included, too, because I did look up some of the top guys just to make sure this was legit, the numbers. And they are. They're right on. Number 6, Gunther, 93 matches, 51 wins. And that's more losses than I thought he would have. And I think that's got to be like Imperium 6-man and tag matches. Because I can't name 5 matches Gunther lost this year.
Yeah, I was just saying.
But in house shows, I'm sure they might have took a lot of losses. Damien, the guy with the briefcase. That's another thing I think is going on a little too long. 93 matches, 40 wins. So we're getting to the top 5 now. Austin Theory, 93 matches, 52 wins.
I thought his wins would be a little bit lower than that.
Yeah. Pretty good, though, for 93 matches. So he's 4th in overall matches. 3rd in overall matches is Seth. Some people in the chat thought he had the most matches. But look at that ratio, bro. 98 to 77 wins.
Yeah.
Seth has had a banner year, bro. He's the world champ for a reason. Number 2, Dom.
Oh, I thought Dom was number 1.
102 matches, 38 wins. But he's had a lot of shine this year.
So can we take a guess?
Yeah. You guys want to guess who number 1 is?
Go ahead, CJ.
Who you guys in the chat? Let me know who you guys think number 1 is. Most matches in 2023.
Jey Uso.
All right.
I'm gonna. Wow. All right. I was gonna say Kevin Owens, but I didn't remember he had injuries.
God, Kenna. Are you watching WWE at all?
I'm gonna say.
I'm sorry. Are you watching this show at all?
He was just number 3, dude.
Who was?
Hey, Ron, how you doing,
Seth.
man? Good to see you.
Was number. I'm
Yeah,
going
yeah,
Jay. I'm going Jay.
Who so?
I'm gonna go Cody. I'm gonna go Cody
That's-
Rhodes
that's-
just for the
that's
hell
who
of
it
it.
is. Cody Rhodes, number
Wow.
1,
Okay.
with 106 matches and 101 wins. That's fucking phenomenal.
Damn, that's pretty good.
I mean, he was out for
Yeah.
a long time last year with his injury, and now, and I had to get a cage match. I'm like, hold up a second. And he had fought, I think, in every fucking house show.
Mm-hmm.
And if someone is the face of WWE right now, it's this.
Oh, it's definitely
Yeah,
Cody.
it's definitely Cody.
It's this
Uh-huh.
guy. Now, I have read reports today, and I take it with a grain of salt because it was from Zero News. If anyone follows,
Never
social
even
media.
heard of them.
They've been discredited with a lot of stuff, but they've also had a lot of stuff right. 2 weeks ago, according to Zero News, the decision has been made. Roman Reigns will retain at WrestleMania and end up beating Hulk Hogan's record after SummerSlam. So they're saying Cody.
I think that's fucking dumb, but I could see it happening.
Yeah, me too. I'm 50-50 on it right now.
Cody needs to finish the story. It needs to happen in Philadelphia.
Yeah. Here's the thing. We can't predict injuries. Cody gets hurt at the end of the year for some reason or, whatever. He's not going to get to finish the fucking story. I think they need to do it. And that's just my opinion. And the Seth CM Punk match, I said it last week. I'll say it again. That doesn't
That's
need
going
a
to
title.
be. I mean, it doesn't, but I think it should.
If it does, that's fine. But if you listen close to Punk's promo, he didn't say winning the world championship is his goal.
He said main event.
He didn't even say winning the main event in WrestleMania was his goal. It's just main event.
So if that's the case, then Seth has to lose the title before Mania.
Yeah. And I mean, a Priest cash in is something.
I'd be okay with that.
During the Rumble, Seth, I mean, who does Seth fighting at? Or he's fighting at day one, maybe, or something. One of those shows, I mean, something can happen and Priest can get a little bit of a run. He's had that title for a while, He should lose it at WrestleMania. It's going to be, I like the fact we don't know because I want to be surprised. And I think this WrestleMania could be one of the big, with all the TV rights and shit that's up in the air right now, I really think this WrestleMania.
I can't wait for fucking WWE to be on Warner Brothers Discovery for everything. And all the AEW marks fucking cry like little babies.
But let me ask you this. If that does happen, do you see AEW getting a different TV deal? I kind of do. I don't think they're going anywhere.
I mean,
I don't think it'll be on the same network though.
Why not?
I wouldn't
Why
be
not?
mad at it. But here's because too many people are like, oh, they're merging the companies if they're on the same
No,
network.
they're not.
That's never happened to people. If it does, I'll admit I'm wrong, but
Yeah.
I highly doubt it. I mean, I agree, Kelly, but that they've erased Honky Tonk Man and all this other stuff. I can see them trying to erase Hogan.
I'm not disagreeing with Kelly either, but in the same regards, fucking, I mean, good for Roman for getting himself that lucrative contract with light dates.
That's it. Seth and Drew at day one. So
I think you put Drew over.
I would. I mean, we
If
talked
you
about
want
this
him
before.
if you want him to resign, put Drew over. He deserves it.
His persona right now is spot on. I love it. We've talked about it's the best Drew I think that I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, he was the champion during the empty arenas. He never got to celebrate his championship.
In the first show they had back with fans, he fucking lost it to Lashley.
So I would not be mad they put it on him. Now, here's something that I wanted to talk about towards the end here. We got through this nice and fast. Since we started this show, I want to know, what do you think? And there's one answer that kind of should be, because it is more of a surprise, the most shocking wrestling event since we started this podcast. You got Punk going to AEW, which I'll give a little bit of a pitch for each one. That was after 7 years of him not being anywhere. So to me, that's, even though the WWE one was bigger, I think the AEW one was more of a shock.
For me, the most shocking moment is number 2.
Punk to WWE? Okay. Vince selling? I mean, if I would have told you 4 years ago that he was going to sell the company, that maybe not the most shocking, but Roman's reign being this long, we're just talking about how fucking long it is. MJF's rise isn't really that shocking because he is a star and he's just proving it.
Yeah.
Edge to AEW, I would have never guessed that at the beginning of the year, but it's not as shocking as the others. I think no one would have guessed Bray would die. So that's, to me, kind of the most shocking out of the ring, because we would never guess that someone that young would pass away. But what do you think, Doc? Which one for you? So he's saying the WWE Punk one, which hell froze over. They said it would never happen. What about you, Doc?
There's two.
Okay.
Number one, definitely the passing of Bray Wyatt. You know, you can't. I mean, I don't even know I should put that in there because it's not really a moment in wrestling; it was a moment in life.
Yeah.
But I get where you're going at. I mean, Bray Wyatt was huge, you know, and just of all the, you know, when we hear these older wrestlers that pass, you know, we're kind of like, okay, you know, they lived a good life. But Bray was just, you know, the fire was underneath the wheels. It was going, and then boom. I'd have to say it's a tie between Bray Wyatt and Punk to WWE, just for the simple fact is, if you look at all the stuff that happened, you know, they're even building off it with Colin right now, him trashing the company, him doing this, him doing that, him just being a cancer. And then all the shit that happened at AEW, you're thinking, oh, he's never going to have another job.
Yeah.
And then boom, that music hit, you know, so.
I definitely, hey, thank you, Earl. Big shout out to Earl and the Wrestling Experience and his show here on YouTube. Thank you so much, Earl. Appreciate you, my bro. Earl's doing great work with watch-alongs as well with some of the ladies of we talked about them before. That show recently started the Queens of the Ring.
We did. Yeah, we did.
And in February, I'm going to be a special guest on the Queens of the Ring to celebrate Valentine's Day. Yes, I'll get to be a guest on their show. Maybe we'll
nope. Yep. Newsflash. Changing. It's going to be me.
Okay. Azrael, you're late to the show too. We talked about that earlier in my little rapid recap, but I appreciate you stopping by. Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up. We've been getting a lot of traction here recently with some of the shows and some of the special shows that we're going to do as well. Yeah, see, some people think the Edge one was shocking too, and I put it up there, not thinking it would happen. I just wanted to. The one that to AEW, I see where everyone's saying that, you know, him to WWE, especially after, like you said, CJ, bashing the company and everything that's happened in the past, you know, and then what happened, how he left AEW wasn't just, hey, I'm out of here. Dude got fired for reasons. So it's like, you know, so I wanted to throw that out there. Next week, we will do some end of the year, best match, best wrestler, and all that good stuff like everyone does. So we'll, and that, yeah, I always thought Edge would never be the Christian thing made me think it could happen because he was there, but you never know. Hey, PolishChick.com. I get some hot chicks from there, man. Monstar. I need some Canadian chicks. You got some for me? But next week,
Brad? No.
Next week we will cover some of that end of the year stuff and preview what WWE has, big shows going down, as well as World's End will be coming up that weekend. And correct me if I'm wrong, but 2PW, RW, they're all done for the year, right? Local focus until the beginning of the year.
Yeah, we are done.
We will revisit and try to bring some more people on from the local area to chat with them, interview them, etc. Talk shit on JJ Rumham because he got suspended. Go fuck yourself and all that good stuff.
Wow. So you're talking this big game, but will we ever see you in Worthington again?
Probably not. Hey, I'm just being real. But will JJ, hey, love you, JJ. You go, you know, whatever. You got suspended, rightfully so. I'm just waiting for the comment to come back somewhere on social media. So we're gonna end the show like we have.
That's all I'm saying. Just don't piss. I'm just saying it's our 100th show, and you still haven't learned.
He's already made fun of my mom.
Whoa.
And a bunch of other stuff that's over the line. So I think I have the right.
Okay.
Yes, definitely. If you guys are catching it late, go back. We did a lot of news in the beginning of the show and also recapped a lot of the shows that are now available on the WrestleSense podcast YouTube page. You can go back and watch the best of the tag teams, the best of the stables, et cetera, et cetera. And Kelly kind of sums it up. Definitely everyone have a safe, happy holiday, happy new year. We will be back next Thursday to cover some of those big shows. So at the end of the day, CJ Sensation.
At the end of the day, my favorite part of the holidays is when they're over. Yeah, I'm just thankful that when I left work today, I don't go back till next year, and I feel like a big bag of shit. So I plan on doing a lot of just chilling out and relaxing. But yeah, at the end of the day, wrestling is, I think, making a turn in the right direction, and I hope that, you know, WWE for me is must-see TV, and I hope just AEW kind of takes notice. And yeah, Kenna, my man,
coming through with the burner up here. Holy hell!
But I hope AEW takes notice and elevates their game.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, Doc, at the end of the day, my brother.
I don't know where the Muppet thing came in at, but at the end of the day, you know, yes, Hogan still sucks.
Fuck Fuji.
Childhood hero back in the day. Fuck Fuji, right? You know, Kenna's lips are still attached to Chris Taylor's ass. And oh, did that come out loud? I'm sorry.
Oh my.
But no, really, at the end of the day, I have to say 100 episodes, that's huge for us. You know, nobody thought we would get where we're at right now when it comes. I mean, 100 episodes is huge.
Yeah.
First of all, I want to thank Blaze. You know, Blaze keeps this thing rolling. He is the driving force. And for that, I love you, brother. Thank you so much for having me on this journey with you. CJ, you're hard on me. I get it, but you make me better.
You know why I do it, dude. It's all out of love, dude. You already know that.
But at the end of the day, you do.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I appreciate you for everything that you yell at me for and praise me for at the same time.
Yeah.
And it was an honor to call. If that is your last match, it was an honor.
It is. It is.
It was an honor to call it. Okay. So
thank you.
Somebody as great as somebody's as good as Tony Kincaid. He just got to learn to tone it down a little bit there.
Yeah,
we got to put a big print.
Yeah, no more telling people to suck our dicks.
Oh, here's our special guest, Tony Kincaid. Everybody, let's bring him on.
There's that stupid joke we do at the end of. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and most of all, I want to thank everybody that subscribes, and I want to thank everybody out there that's been supportive of not just myself, but these two guys over here, of course, DH, and of course my son Bodie. You know, you guys always give him love, you always give him credit, and he does watch the show and appreciates it. Sometimes he has to ask what Uncle CJ means when he cusses, but hey, we handle that. We handle that.
Cuss? What the fuck are you talking about?
He's fucking
that's the greatest thing ever. But honest to God, you guys, everybody, I love all of you. Thank you. I'm done.
At the end of the day, I'm just blessed to be able to be the host and have this channel. A lot of bullshit happened in my life that put me in this position, but I told myself I wanted to make the most out of it. Ray and the crew that they used to do the real deal when I listened to it every Sunday night after a pay-per-view.
WMBS, brother.
11:30 in my shed out in Hopwood, smoking bowls of weed and just doing stupid, silly shit, listening to you guys laugh my ass off. I thought I would love to be a part of something like that. Now I am, and 100 is just the start, people. I mean, we've got to cover wrestling, talk shit, have fun with each other, share each other's opinions on wrestling, and differences. I mean, we don't watch wrestling the same. CJ has said it a bunch of times.
Yeah,
Ray has said it. True. Doc, we all watch wrestling differently through the eyes of a kid. Like Bodie watches differently than we watch, and that's the beauty, I think, of this entertainment that we have, known as studio wrestling. When I was a kid,
no, it's sports entertainment.
Yeah, and I want to be entertained, and I love the competitive nature of it. For those guys out there, including CJ, that have put their bodies on the line every time they step into the ring, I've only stepped into a ring twice to do ring announcing.
You did get a ball tap.
Yeah, I can't speak on that, but I have such an appreciation of the business now, from talking more to you guys, from discussing it on a very equal, well-balanced level, and just letting everybody have their own WrestleSense. And that's what this show is all about, bringing people together just like we do on my channel. Thank you for all the subscribers, everyone who's been here every fucking show. There's a lot of you guys who are here every show. And we cannot thank you enough. I'm pretty sure I can speak for all four of us.
Love you, Wheels.
For the people that continue to come back. And if you're watching a replay, leave comments. That helps the channel out too. If you
get us monetized, God damn it.
And
please.
I just noticed that last week we hit 1,000 watch hours. So that is a big milestone. We got to get to 4,000. So that's a year in. So we got like 3 more years before we get there. But no, we're going to pick up the pace in content in 2024.
Please.
I said I was going to do it before. These little pop-up shows where CJ can pop up if he could, Doc can show up if he can after a show. Ray pop in after a pay-per-view at 2 a.m. We went and talked with Jason from That Wrestling Podcast come in, and we went till like 1:30 or 2. I might do more of those, so stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed and you hit that bell for notifications because you never know when WrestleSense is going to go live again. And we are blessed to bring you wrestling in a different way than you get in this toxic fucking bullshit environment that is the wonderful internet. So I thank you all for being a part of the show. See you next week for more, and we love you.
Oh, yeah.
Wait. Thanks to the Hardcore Sports Network, too. Love you guys. And I will be live on TV wrestling in a little bit as well. Lose my voice. Peace to everybody out there. Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Festivus for the rest of us. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We'll say that this week. Well, I can bring back his hat again if he wants to. Rich the devil! Wardlow's the devil! There they are!
I'm the fucking devil, motherfucker.
DJ's the devil. Brandon K, he has a steak. He's the devil. Turkey's the devil. Bodie's the devil. Ray's the devil. You guys are awesome. See you in the streams, people.
That was the longest ending ever.
Here's to 100 more episodes.
100 more? I had to piss so bad, my teeth were floating.
Woo! I'm pissing right now.
Oh, man.
I got my
Pissing
Depends
in
on.
your mouth.
Ooh,
There you go.
like that.
You did that shit.
Gargled these nuts. Ketchup, ketchup.
I hate
love
that waiter.
picture. We're out of here.